Well, on a fall afternoon, as you're going to enjoy the football game after the pregame show from Depew Park in Peekskill here, as the Red Devils will take on Poughkeepsie, we have a chance to kind of relax, enjoy the sunshine, and sit with some lovely people that I've known for a long time. And as a matter of fact, the guy you see in the background, of course, is Frank Pugliese, my partner for many, many years. This is his mom, who is a snowbird out of Florida. What's doing up here?
We're coming for Julianne's wedding.
Mm-hmm. Is Jim still working around the house and doing all his handiwork?
Oh, yes, he is.
Okay, glad to hear that, Julianne. Hello, sweetheart.
Hi, how are you?
Boy, it's great to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, you're just a little thing. Matter of fact, you weren't even born when Frank and I were doing football games, I think. And introduce that handsome guy on your right.
This is my fiance, Dennis Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our daughter, Erin Murphy.
Hi, Erin.
Hello.
Can you say hello?
Hi.
Well, believe me, Erin can say hello a lot. And the guy in back of me, of course, is Frank, who will introduce the lovely lady on his left.
Well, we've been talking about Peg for so many years now, and finally get a chance to meet my wife, Peg. And it's her first time on TV. She's gun shy. She doesn't like to come out with me. Anybody would be gun shy, really.
A star is born, the whole family, and boy, we're delighted to have them. By the way, baby, those brownies through the years, terrific.
I know, I didn't make them this year. I guess I have to make them now. Now I'm on TV.
Frank and I'll have some comments about the game with the Red Devils taking on Poughkeepsie right after this. So the Red Devils with hopes of a first-place finish and coming into this game with a record of 4-1 after a victory over Lady of Lords. Red Devils have a high-powered offense. They have to be concerned, as always, with defense. But if you put enough points on the board like Cincinnati does with a 7-run third inning, I guess you don't have to worry too much about defense.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
let me remind you about this. I'll expect a check in the mail next week. Anyway, I had a chance to talk to Coach Briano and Coach Roger Lonsberry last night. You saw the show prior to today's game. And that's what we talked about. Number one, complacency. Are they looking ahead? They're in a position now, 4-1. They've got Poughkeepsie, which hasn't really done very well this year. You got Ride next week, and then Somers. Are you looking ahead to Somers? They said, no, these kids know their jobs. They know what they have to do. They're very methodical about it out there, and they got to get the points on the board, and they're not letting up. If they got a 31-point lead, they're not letting up. Vinny has the luxury of switching off quarterbacks. He has young Brian Panzanero who can come back and give P.J. Mail a spell, especially when the Red Devils have got a big lead. Brian's getting some good experience out there. So, like you mentioned, high-powered offense with Patterson and Covington and P.J. Mail a quarterback, Zambruzio. They got a good, well-rounded team this year.
Zambrano.
Okay.
No, I figured you'd know him. He must be your second cousin. Let's run through what the Red Devils have done this year to run up that record of 4-0 with the victory just a week ago against Our Lady of Lords. And J.Patterson Patterson had a 1-yard touchdown run. Mookie Wilson, what an afternoon for Wilson. He scored on a 65-yard return of an interception. He blocked a punt, and with that interception, the touchdown. J.Patterson Patterson, a 26-yard touchdown reception from P.J. Mail. Khalil Covington, a 3-yard touchdown run. Jim Brano, 4-yard touchdown run. And even Courtney Hips got into the scoring action with a run from 23 yards out. The Red Devils opened the season. They lost to Tappan Zee 20-6, but then have been on a roll. A win over Kennedy 20-12. Knocked over Beacon 36-0. And, of course, that unfortunate cancellation and forfeit in the game that had been scheduled against Pennis with the tragedy of the Lakeland youngsters. That game went in as a forfeit and a win for the Red Devils, and then a victory against Lord. So they've, in a losing cause, scored just 6, but then had 20, 36, and 46 in their last 3 games that they played. The Devils against Poughkeepsie. We'll introduce the new member of our broadcasting team right after this word. Well, it was about a year ago at this time I was telling you it would be my last year in broadcasting high school football and on the telecast with Community Channel 6. Those plans didn't work out, but we hope they will, because I need a lot more time on the golf course and to sharpen up my game. Otherwise, Frankie Pugliese takes all my money. So from our WLNA news staff, Paul Ercolino, who you've heard doing some color commentary on WLNA, will be taking over the play-by-play, and we welcome him on behalf of cable and also the radio station. A little bit of background, Paul. You come from Rockland County?
Yes, I come from Rockland County. I worked over at WRKL radio over there before I came over to WLNA. Before that, just graduated from Syracuse University last May.
What is your experience as far as football is concerned? You play it in high school? Tell us about that.
I played it ever since I was young in Pee Wees and Pop Warner up into high school, and did a little broadcasting in college on it. that's basically my experience.
So when you see certain formations, or you get an idea by when you're watching a game of some tendencies, and you can lend your expertise in that.
Well, yeah, I think I know football. I think that's my best attribute. I think I've played it since I was a youngster, and I've always enjoyed watching it, and then that's what I lend to the game.
You'll be hearing Paul's comments throughout the rest of the year on radio and also on television, and he'll be doing the play-by-play for us next year in that combined role. We'll have the kickoff coming up with Poughkeepsie at Peekskill right after this word. At Depew Park in Peekskill, the Red Devils set to take on the Pioneers of Poughkeepsie. Peekskill coming into this game with their record of 4-1, and the Pioneers are 1-4. The Peekskill Prep Band down below us, and the playing of our national anthem. And the playing of our national anthem. Red Devils, as mentioned, 4-1. Beacon Poughkeepsie coming to this game 1-2. They've picked up their one victory of the season with a win over Pattis last week by a score of 8-0. The one touchdown for the Pioneers. Wade McReynolds hitting Rich Frazier on a 12-yard touchdown pass. Red Devils won the toss, Frank?
Yeah, the Red Devils, the indication was they won the toss. They're going to receive anyway, but as I saw referee John Erdman then tapped Poughkeepsie on the shoulder and indicated they were going to kick. But in high school ball, you've got the deferment. So let's just say Peekskill is receiving, and we're not sure who really won the toss.
Coach Vinny Barano, Roger Lonsbury, and Bob Small getting their team ready before the game as we had a chance to walk among the coaches. And Nick Perrell, and what a great feeling to see Nick Perrell down on the football field on a Saturday afternoon. He started at Lakeland, came to Peekskill for years, the head coach, and just an outstanding career as head football coach and athletic director at Horace Greeley High School. Always good to say hello to Nick again. We were reminiscing on how old we're getting and how nice it is to be around.
He's got us all beat. But I was talking to Nick about he's giving some tips to Tony Viola, who's going to be doing the punting for the Red Devils, and he was just telling me that Tony gets the ball up there and then sometimes really tries to get too much extension on his leg to get the height. But nevertheless, we'll see what happens with the Red Devil offense this afternoon.
Frank Montgomery will kick off. He's a left-footed kicker, and he had a horrible practice before the game. He couldn't kick the ball more than 20 yards. He was hooking everything. Let's see if he's calmed down and what he can come up with now. As Montgomery boots a little squibber rolling on the Peekskill 36-yard line and recovered by one of the upmen, Tony Viola.
Tony wearing a couple of numbers when he's on the offense. He'll be wearing number 30 when he kicks, etc. And then on defense, he'll switch over and wear number 58.
So the Red Devils start 1st and 10 on their own 36. PJ Mail, last second conversation with head coach Vinny Barano. And set to go with the Red Devils in their first offensive play.
Obviously, try the offensive line first with the running game, see how it works out.
J.Patterson deep in the I formation. The give to Patterson off the right side, a little stutter step. He's got 5 with a flag going down up to the 41.
Well, generally that flag will indicate holding unless there is a face mask in between, but it looks like the holding call is being made by referee John Erdman, and there is exactly what I talked to Vinny Barano and Roger Lonsbury about last evening, the penalties, the bad flags, and here he said they've been kind of lucky, but here's one right now that's going to set them back 15 from the 36-yard line.
First play from scrimmage, Patterson following his blockers well, wedged out for a 5-yard gain, nullified by the holding penalty.
So you want to look at it that way, it's a 20-yard loss. 15 from the penalty and 5 that he would have gained. To bring it back to the 27.
Red Devils gained a yard on that. But step-offs in high school ball have not always the most accurate. For one, the referees and broadcasters do not have hash marks.
Well, it's the spot of the foul. Right. That might have been a yard in front of the line of scrimmage.
So it's 1st and 24. Wide receiver to the right side. That's Mookie Wilson. Motion man to the left, Peter Deak. The give is to Patterson as he skirts the left end up to the 30-35. Bumped out of bounds on the far side. Good run by Patterson.
We'll spot it right at the 30. Let's mark it 35-yard line. Close enough. A gain of 8. And I've got 2nd and 11.
How about 2nd and 16?
Well, if they got to get to the 46, that's 2nd and 11. From the 35.
2nd 11 from the 35. No score, just underway. Give to Patterson. Covington out in front with the block. Patterson cuts in front of that and just brought down on the 42-yard line on a fine tackle by Ch. Owens, who saved a long gainer as Patterson had some running room, using his blockers very well as he swung to the right side and then cut upfield. It's shy of the first down on the Red Devils' 43. There's an 8-yard pickup.
All right, so they'll bring up 3rd and 3. But like you mentioned, he did have good blocking out in front of him, though, and a good play by Ch. Owens.
Deak set as a wing to the right side. Patterson's carried all 3 times. P.J. Vail at quarterback. Pitch to Patterson. They'll try the left side with blocking in front. Patterson to the 45, and he does not have the first down. He had all sorts of blockers in front of him, but to credit the Pioneers' defense, they strung it out to the left side, and finally Nakia Wood was able to make the tackle.
They got it right on the 45, and I said, wow, because looks like the left tackle for the Red Devils, and that would be Anthony DeBruzzo, really leveled the end for the Pioneers. 4th and 1. I think they're going to go for it. Got some confidence in your defense. Let's go and get him.
Well, the Red
they're not
Devils
going to go.
show punt formation. Tony Viola with one man back. That's Richard Frazier for Poughkeepsie. He's standing on his 25. Viola, high kick. Frazier comes up on the ball, lets it bounce. It hits him, but it is recovered by a teammate on the 27.
One of the Red Devils down to cover the punt, really lost it in the air, and I think that was number 21 at that time, Mookie Wilson. He lost sight of the punt, and then when it hit the return man, Wilson had overrun the play, and luckily for the Pioneers, their own man fell on the ball because it was free.
Well, that's the alertness of the special teams. Give the Pioneers credit. The youngster coming back saw the ball hit the receiver, Richard Frazier, and was alert enough to get on it. Frank Montgomery wide to the left. 1st and 10 from the 26. The quarterback is Wade McReynolds, and he rolls back to pass, looking to the right, stops and fires. Man wide open, can't hold it at midfield. That was downfield. Carrigo Wood, who looked like he had 6 if he could have held on to the ball, but was unable to do so.
Well, I'll tell you, he beat the cornerback. He beat Peter Deak on the play. Oddly enough, the ball bounced over Carrigo Wood's up at his hands, and Peter Deak almost came up with an interception when he was beaten by a good 3 yards.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 as Poughkeepsie opens with the pass on 1st down. McReynolds, who, if you heard us in the Hendrick Hudson game, likes to throw. Straight ahead. Give to Owens, no place to go, maybe a couple, brought down by James Zambrano and Chappie Manzer.
Going to give him
Gain
one.
will be to
A couple, anyway.
the line of scrimmage is the 26. He's up to the 29, so a pickup of 3. It'll be a 3rd and 7.
Looked like that McReynolds was going to fake that time to the fullback, but he just handed it right off to him, and gain of a couple, like you say.
Passing situation this time. Again, of course, every down's a passing down. Nesbitt in the backfield. The toss. It's batted down off to the right side. Jamal Patterson almost came up with the interception, got his hand on the ball as McReynolds was under tremendous pressure coming in from the left side or his blind side, led by Khalil Covington. And the Red Devils have held very quickly and forced Poughkeepsie into a punt situation.
You know, on that play, Jerry, it looked like it was a screen, almost like a naked screen out there, but I don't think that's what the play was called. I think the Red Devils just got very good penetration.
family station on WLNA and Community Channel 6. High snap from center. The punt by Mike LeBaire hits at midfield and rolls into Peekskill territory. The Red Devils will not even try to run it back. Khalil Covington was the only man back there, and the ball rolled out of bounds.
Spotted right on the 43-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Red Devils from that spot. No score on the ball game with 8:29 left in the first quarter. Sean Murphy keeping the clock here, and our little Sam DeLuca penthouse. I noticed they've done a little new painting in the interior here.
Oh, yes.
It's a blushing blue.
Sam said next year the wallpaper goes up, the refrigerator and the stove back here for us. Maybe a heating lamp every now and then. In a couple of years we get a sauna.
Khalil Covington, the fullback, off the I formation. J.Patterson, the deep back. Motion, Deak coming from left to right. Patterson, the ball carrier, slashes straight ahead and is downed after a 3 or 4 yard pickup.
They're going to mark it on a 48. That's going to be a gain of 5. Red Devils right now, what you see they're trying to do, their first series of downs that they ran, they were running wide. The first play, of course, like you mentioned, which was brought back on a holding penalty, they ran up the middle. Everything after that went wide. Now they're going to try to make that Poughkeepsie defense come in towards the middle, and that'll open up some passing lanes should P.J. Mail have to put the ball in the air.
2nd and a long 5 for the Red Devils on their own 48. Patterson takes the pitch, wants to sweep around the right side, lost his footing, and is dropped on the 45 as he made his cut. Was upended by the loose turf, actually. Nakia Wood in to make the stop just across the 45 to the 46. A loss of 2, which will bring 3rd and long for the Devils, and we may see P.J. Mail throw for the first time.
3rd and 7, P.J. Mail likes the passing down, and again, he's a very accurate short passer, and he can go deep with a lot of authority also. But
Brad Wheeler splits to the left. They have a slot man also to the left. Everyone else in tight, and Mail back to pass. Rolls to the left, stops, throws. Ball was tipped, and it is incomplete. Going high in the air was Wade McReynolds, the closest player to it, the defensive back and the quarterback for Poughkeepsie, and he knocked it down. It appeared he had a good shot at an interception. Was not able to hold on to it, so the Red Devils will punt.
Yeah, you mentioned P.J. Mail rolled to his left, had a man going downfield, and as he threw the ball, it was tipped by one of the defenders, the up front men, but he had some pressure coming from his blind side also, so both teams, neither team can get an offense going here.
Tony Viola will attempt the kick. Richard Frazier standing back on his 25. Good snap from center. High kick Viola. He caught this one, and it is going to send Frazier back to the 20. They have a return to the right. Frazier goes backward and then turns upfield, gets a block up the sidelines, and is out of bounds. Past the right at the 30-yard line.
That block you talked about was by a number 70. I thought I saw 77. But let's give credit to Ash Coleman, number 71 at that time. Really took out one of the Peekskill cover men and sprung. Oh, we have a penalty at the just behind the line of scrimmage also.
That was an obvious punt return to the right that Poughkeepsie had set up. But let's see what the flag is all about. It's being explained to Wade McReynolds.
They're going to bring it back also. Illegal.
So he has his option.
Illegal motion. Well, that ball would have been back to about the 35, 36-yard line, and I don't know if I'd have taken that for a 5-yard penalty. Anything can happen. 35-yard line is not bad field position to start an offensive series, and anything can happen on another kick.
I hate to tell you this, partner, but
you agree with me.
I do. Bird in the hand, two in the bush, and all that sort of thing. You have the ball, you know where you are, but they figure they can maybe spring Richard Frazier. Let's see if they try a return left this time.
Well, he could fumble it, number one. You could have a roughing the kicker penalty, which would be a 15-yarder and enough for the first down. So, well, we'll just see. Viola back again to punt.
Bubba Skaggs checks in on the specials team for the Red Devils. Viola, high kick that bounces at the 35 and is picked up by Franklin Nesbitt. Nesbitt trying the right side, and he's going to be back at approximately where Richard Frazier returned the ball on the previous kick.
Yeah, he might have even lost a couple, but and that was a bouncing punt, and Nesbitt handled it very well, was able to get outside. He had Mookie Wilson going after him, but then the Red Devils covered that punt very well.
1st and 10 for Poughkeepsie, and they'll start on their own 33.
And at this point, nobody has picked up a first down yet.
Frank Montgomery wide to the left. Wade McReynolds ducks under center. Pioneers love to throw. 2 wide receivers, split backfield. Reynolds looking sideline, fakes on the pump fake, and now he's going to go down. On top of the pile was Frank Lorino. And Bubba Skaggs also there on the quarterback sack as the Red Devils force the loss back to the 29.
You know, that Lorino really got in there and prevented McReynolds from throwing the ball. I don't think he could see over Lorino that time.
Yeah, and McReynolds was using a pump fake. Looked like it was the stop and go pattern or hitch and go down the left sideline, but never had a chance to get it off.
Lorino's no lightweight on that defensive line either, is he?
This time it's Montgomery to the left. McReynolds on second down, 2nd and 14. No score on the ball game, and he gives to his fakes to the fullback, keeps himself. Pitch back on the option given to Nesbitt, and Nesbitt is driven back. Brad Wheeler making the initial hits. And he had help from Chappie Manzer.
You know, that's a play there where you got a key on the defensive end. If that defensive end gets blocked, that means the quarterback's going to keep the ball. If he doesn't get blocked, the outside linebacker has got a key on that, and that's when the cornerback has to come up to go at that point. The outside linebacker's got to stay home on a play like that.
Tackle made on the 29 to bring up a 3rd and 14. Nakia Wood, the deep man off the I formation, and Nesbitt is the up man. Now they split, or they now move Nakia Wood up to the line of scrimmage.
They have too many men at the line of scrimmage, Jerry.
McReynolds back to pass, looking, flag is down, the catch is made, another flag goes down. The reception made at the 37-yard line. Coming out of the backfield was Carriga Wood. Let's see what the flag's for.
You got 2. One might be a pass interference. You had an ineligible downfield, but you also had too many men at the line of scrimmage also, so that's going to go both ways against Poughkeepsie. And you know, the Red Devils will probably decline this one because they didn't pick up the first down.
Ineligible receiver, a loss of down?
No. That's only if you're...
pass across the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Okay.
But they had 11 men at the line of scrimmage, or 9 men at the line of scrimmage. They only had 1 setback, and the 1 wingback did not set 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. That's what made him ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, they're going to allow the completion up to the 38-yard line. It'll be 4th and 5. No score with 4:35 left in the first quarter from Depew Park in Peekskill. Mike LeBaire will attempt the kick. Khalil Covington, the Red Devils, standing on his 26. Flag goes down. I don't think the Pioneers got it off in time to lay a game. That'll bring up 4th and 10.
Boy, a lot of yellow out in that field today. Is it
3 downs and out in this one so far.
Yeah, only a couple in between with the flags.
As Frank mentioned, no one with a first down. Both teams trying to sort things out here in the first quarter with 4:25 left. High snap from center, pull down, and the kick. And this is going to be fielded by Covington. It goes over his head. He thought the up man was going to take it. Then Covington moved in, and it will be downed around the inside the 20-yard line by the Poughkeepsie Pioneers. The up man was J.Patterson. He looked like he was going to make the catch, then let it go. And in his defense and Khalil Covington's defense, they were both looking into a strong sun. And then the ball just rolled loose. Continued to roll on the good Poughkeepsie bounce. 50-yarder for Mike LeBaire. And the Red Devils have called timeout. Let's take 60 seconds for this word. In the first quarter from Depew Park in Peekskill, there's no score. Pugliese, Paul Ercolino from Depew Park in Peekskill. Red Devils taking a timeout.
Kind of wondering, Jerry, if the up man might have lost that ball. He's looking right in the sun. J.Patterson, just maybe he didn't pick it up right away. And like you mentioned, it seemed that the deep man thought the up man was going to take it. The up man thought the deep man was going to take it. And Peekskill's pinned back on their own 17.
Mookie Wilson wide to the right. P.J. Mayle ducks under center as the Red Devils try to get their offense going to Zambrano, who dashes forward. And as he hit off the left side, up over the 20-yard line before Mike LeBaire came up from the secondary to make the stop. They'll spot it on the 23, a 6-yard pickup, bring up a 2nd and 4.
Well, that was a little switch off there. Everybody looks for either Patterson or Covington, and P.J. Mail turns around and hands it off to Zambrano, and he picked up, like you say, a quick 6.
Covington in as the split back along with Patterson. Wilson wide to the right. Give to Patterson, slashing ahead off the left side, dragging tacklers with him up to the 30, has enough for Red Devils first down. Quan Flowers making the stop for Poughkeepsie along with Nakia Wood. Right on the 30-yard line of the Red Devils.
And that's a gain of 7, and it's the initial first down in the ball game. And we have 3:25 left to go here in the first quarter.
And there's no score.
Wilson
Devils
wide
break
out to
the
the
huddle.
right.
P.J. Mail calling signals, fakes the pitch to Covington, hands off to Patterson, who dives forward to the 38-yard line before he was stopped.
He was stopped by, I thought I saw number 5 out there. It's the second time I've seen him, Marion Ashley, who got him at about the 32-yard line, and Patterson getting up over the 35 to, let's say, the 38. It's a gain of 8 to bring up 2nd and 2. Good fake that time by P.J. Mail.
Peter Deak checking into the lineup offensively for the Red Devils. 2nd and 2 from the 38. No score on the ball game. Deak is wide to the right. Off the I formation. Patterson, the deep man, slashing through and gets up to the 44-yard line. Wade McReynolds coming in to get in on the tackle along with Quan Flowers.
That'll be enough for the first down, however. Right, going to mark that ball right on the 44, as you said, gain of 6. Second first down of the game and second of this drive for the Red Devils.
Devils continue to alternate their deep men, well, the up men rather. James Zambrano replaces Khalil Covington.
Zambrano doesn't look very big from up here, Jerry, but Vinny Barano and Roger Lonsberry told me that he is some blocker. He said he really opens up some big holes for the other running back. They use them very well in complement.
I formation again for the Red Devils. Mail rolling to his right, looking, has a man wide open. There's Patterson at the 25, catches it, he's gone. It's Mookie Wilson.
No flag.
56-yard touchdown pass from P.J. Mail to Mookie Wilson. And the Red Devils go up 6-0.
Well, we just mentioned in a play before they had Mookie Wilson out wide to the right. When they ran that running play and picked up 6 yards in the first down, Mookie Wilson was wide to the right. He had man-on-man coverage. I'm sure it was spotted up here by Bob Smoltz. And they said, let's give it a whirl. And P.J. Mail just put that ball right into Mookie Wilson's hand. A quick 6 for the Red Devils and the initial score of the game.
Two things. Mail had all the time in the world. He got some great blocking. Second thing, Wilson lost the receiver, or the defender, I should say.
Lost him?
Yeah, he lost him. He outran him. I formation, Devils are going for 2. Mail back to pass. Little flip into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Brad Wheeler. Just one of those flipping over the lineman and hope Wheeler can run underneath it. And the Devils come up empty on the 2-point conversion attempt, but lead by a score of 6-0.
Well, that was a well-thrown pass over the head of the defender, Jared Briault, and Wheeler got behind him, made a diving attempt, and the ball just went off his fingertips. But like you say, with 1:47 to go here in the first quarter, the Red Devils up 6-0, and I'm sure that coaching staff is breathing a little sigh of relief.
Well, they started that drive in their own 17 after the mix-up on the punt return, where there was no punt return.
It's 5 plays, 80.
Do you think they can hear? Do you think they can hear the athletic director down on the field?
He's not using a headset, is he?
Coach, they can't hear
the cheering section up here.
Cool it. 6-0 Red Devils on the 56-yard pass from P.J. Mail to Mookie Wilson.
And I said my ears were bothering me. Back deep,
I'm
Richard
still going to have a
Fraser.
contest someday on Paul Natale having a conversation with Bob Small.
Frazier and Nakia Woods back deep to receive the kickoff from Khalil Covington.
So Covington ready to boot. Red Devils getting on the board and up 6-0 with 1:40 left in the first quarter. Low squibber. It's grabbed off very nicely by Frank Montgomery at his 25 and is able to return it to the 33 before he is dropped by the Peekskill Specials team.
Yeah, that was number 45 on the bottom, James Zambrano, and he got up just limping. Yeah, he's still limping. I think he twisted his knee a little bit. Zambrano coming off, and it's going to be a big loss to the Red Devils, both on offense and defense.
1st and 10 for Poughkeepsie on their 34-yard line. McReynolds, who loves to pass, and the offense geared around that, sends Richard Frazier to the left side. Keith Williams wide to the right. There's a slot man to the right, and the running backs are split. Reynolds off to his fullback, loose ball, and it looks like Patterson picked it up. Let's wait and see what the call is, and a flag goes down.
I think they have McReynolds on a face mask, number 1, and the handoff just never got through the running back. The ball popped up in the air, like you said. Patterson just picked it off in midair. The Red Devils are going to take over on at least the 25-yard line. I think you got a face mask coming in against Wade McReynolds also.
So from the 25, there will be a penalty assessed against Poughkeepsie.
Well, I tell you, we know what plays are going to be called from up here.
What's that, dive 4?
Dive 4.
Yeah, terrific.
It needs to take that man through the 4-hole.
At least they save on the phone bill.
Halfway distance, halfway to the goal. As the ball be spotted on the 13-yard line, where the Red Devils will take over 1st and 10.
So Patterson with the steal and the recovery, and then the penalty as Wheeler goes wide to the left. 1st and 10 for the Red Devils on Poughkeepsie's 13-yard line. Deak in motion. Straight ahead.
Yeah. That's dive 4, Khalil Covington, and I tell you, he went between Andy Lee and Brian Call. Really, they opened up a monstrous hole. He's very close to the 1st down mark, as a matter of fact. It looks like he picked up about, it's outside the 5. Let's mark it to the 6-yard line, a gain of 7.
2nd and 3 for the Red Devils, up 6-0, trying to capitalize on the Poughkeepsie mistake. Wheeler again wide to the right. Covington, the fullback. The tailback is Patterson. Deak in motion to the right. Mail again to Covington. Sidesteps 1, dives forward after he was hit, and may have a yard, and that's about all. Mike LeBert making the stop for the Pioneers. He's stretched, and they're going to give him to the 4.
From here, it looks like he's just a little short.
Going to bring the chains out, I think, and measure.
Really got a bad angle, and pretty far away from the field, too. But it was a good effort, though, by Patterson, getting that stretch out there, almost picking up the 1st down.
High school football over WLNA Peekskill, Community Channel 6 on Monday and Thursday nights on tape delay. Chain is stretched. Red Devils 1st down. It will be 1st and goal from the 3.
I doubt the Devils are going to get off another play before the end of the 1st quarter here.
I was going to mention they really, well, you always like to have the 1st down, but they had 2 shots at picking it up, even if they had come up shy. And the clock runs down. P.J. Mail is heading to the sideline, confident that Sean Murphy has the clock right on schedule.
Let's see how well Sean does here.
2 seconds on the clock. Mail breaks the huddle, and
Murphy's right on the money here.
Brilliant.
We got to get him into a contest with young Mata down in Henrik Hudson to see which one of these 2 guys got that quick trigger.
They're the best. There's no doubt about that. So, the Red Devils will have 1st and goal to start the 2nd quarter as they exchange. And the Red Devils now will be going from right to left, or it will be defending the pool end.
You got to give a plug for an old friend of mine.
You ran into Hank Propian.
No,
is that where we picked up the sodas today?
Talking about one of the nicest kids I'd ever want to meet, and you also would be young Stephen McCulloch. In the past couple of years, he's been team manager, and I tell you, the coaching staff has had some very high regard for Stephen. Now he's into modified football, so he's not able to make the Saturday games, but they played yesterday, so he's out there. There he is wearing that number 13. He's a big Dan Marino fan to boot, right? So he's out there assisting today, bringing the water out, and if we can get Stephen to come on up here with some of that water and maybe some soda to boot, we'll be okay.
That's terrific.
That's not going to help me get my
dry cleaning done.
It's not going to give me any breaks down there.
I know you get a reduction, Frank.
Red Devils 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
They're up 6-0 and have started after the Javel Patterson recovery and the penalty on the 13. They put Wheeler wide to the left, and they have a man in the slot. That's Deak. He goes in motion. Give to Covington. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Breaks free. Dives in. Touchdown, Red Devils.
He got hit behind the line of scrimmage by Nakia Woods. The only way you're really going to get Khalil Covington is you got to get him low, and that's exactly where Nakia Woods got him. But he got him right around above the knees, and Covington just slipped off the tackle and went in for the touchdown.
Red Devils, I suspect, will go for 2.
I'm sorry, was that Covington or Patterson? Patterson. Thank you.
Jamel with another touchdown run. This one from 3 yards out. They go for 2. Mail wants to throw, looking for Wheeler. Has a man. Peter Deak wide open and good for the 2-point conversion. Brad Wheeler went to the left corner as he had in the previous 2-point conversion attempt. And he was well covered, and there was Deak coming across the middle, and Mail saw him and laid it right on the numbers, and the Red Devils are up 14-0.
I'm sure that the Pioneers have scouted the Red Devils well, and of course the bread and butter receiver is Brad Wheeler, and he's the bread and butter receiver short, Mookie Wilson long, but when you take Wheeler and you bring him into the corner, if nobody picks up Peter Deak, or if they pick him up one-on-one, he's going to beat him anyway. You just can't put 4 people back there to cover 2 guys. Wheeler had the double coverage. Deak slipped in over the middle, and the 2-point conversion was good.
That's the 5th touchdown for J.Patterson this year. 4 of them coming on runs. 1, he was the receiver on a PJ Mail pass. That coming last week. Devils leading 14-0.
Turnover, very costly to the Pioneers. That one cost them 8 points.
So the Red Devils in Covington will kick off. Frazier, the deep man, along with Nakia Wood. See if Covington goes deep, and does. Fine kick. This will be Frazier. Fumbles it on his 14. Picks it up. Comes to the right side and is being pursued. Wants to turn the corner, and does, with just a little yardage, and is ridden out of bounds as the pursuit was put on by Courtney Hips and Clarence Smith.
Yeah, it was actually Moses Pabon who was bringing Frazier to the outside, and Moses pinched in a little bit, but that was okay because he had coverage on the outside by Hips and Smith, and they were able to run him out of bounds on the 25-yard line.
Poughkeepsie sets up their offense there, 1st and 10. There have only been 3 first downs in this game, all by the Red Devils. Wide to the right comes Keith Williams. McReynolds has Mike LeBaire in the backfield. Long count, and McReynolds hands off to Nesbitt, tries the left side, and is going to be dropped for a yard loss. Anthony DeBruzzo.
Penetration was made by Frank Lorino and forced the play really wider, I think, than they wanted to go, and DeBruzzo was right there to fill that hole. They're going to spot
about a half yard. Let's call it
Yep.
2nd and 10 from the 25. Nose of the ball close to
I think they should watch the
that
pass.
marker. Brother. Frank Montgomery wide to the left. Williams to the right. McReynolds on 2nd and 10 with his team trailing 14-0. Looking into the sun, drops back to pass. Just got it off. It was a little pitch back to Nesbitt. He tries the left side, jumps over one beat tackler, and gets up to the 30-yard line. Chappie Menzer making the stop there. That was a fine run by Franklin Nesbitt. It almost got botched up as McReynolds turned to make the pitch, and a Red Devil defensive man was in there. Nesbitt grabbed the ball and was able to turn the corner on the left side.
I'm going to mark it on the 32. It's a gain of 7. Bring up a 3rd and 3. And I'll tell you, McReynolds got popped as soon as he let that ball go. If he held on to it just another split second, it would have been a free ball.
Pioneers break the huddle, and they put Williams wide to the right. They slot Kariga Wood inside him. That's on the right side, and there's a whistle.
I think we got encroachment. I don't know against who. Oh, okay, what they're talking about is the chin strap came loose on one of the Red Devils, and that's a good call by the field judge, Sam DiGiovanni, just making sure that everything is in place, and they're looking at
James Zambrano, whose chin strap was not down.
That's
calls
a penalty.
For a flag.
Yeah.
Why do you think he threw the flag?
I didn't see the
Instead of
flag
just blowing
come
the
down.
whistle.
Tell you the truth.
But they're not going to step it off.
We saw 2 flags down there. Oh, I think the referee was saying no flag. Sorry. I think the play's got to be in motion before they can throw that flag.
I thought they had a dirty face and were going to
wipe it off.
No, yeah.
Oh, my granddaughter has a dirty face.
Here's McReynolds on 3rd and 3. Back to pass. He loses the ball and diving for it. It appears the Pioneers came up with it. Let's wait and see, because Red Devil was there very close. No, it was Mike LeBear who recovered it. Mookie Wilson was right there as McReynolds went back to pass. Again, the timing for Poughkeepsie has just been terrible in their offensive sets. They're bumping into one another, and a lot has to do with the Red Devils' crashing defense. But ball's popping loose, and that was almost another turnover.
It's an 8-yard loss. It'll bring up 4th and 11, and I guess we're going to see Mike LeBear in there again. He's had some work out here this afternoon. It's been punt, punt, punt.
So Deak now is the up man on this attempted return.
Wow.
The kick by LeBear, and it is short, and the Red Devils are going to let it roll. Covington watches it on his own 40, and it rolls deeper into Peekskill territory on the 36-yard line.
The up man was Peter Deak, and he had to make a real split-second decision at that point. I think he made a wise decision to leave the ball go. There were 2 defenders knocking on the door then. He only lost maybe 5 or 6 yards by not fielding the ball. I think it was a good decision. You don't think so, but there were 2 guys knocking right at him, and the ball was tumbling end over end.
It was a good decision. It was a correct decision.
Thank you. Boy, that's twice you've agreed with me today, and that's got to be a record.
Leave the ball go.
Leave well enough alone.
He decided to
let it go. Let it go.
All right, good. First and 10 for the Red Devils, 36. They're up 14-0. P.J. Mayo off to the deep man, and that is Patterson on his way. Patterson to midfield. Patterson on a speed race down the left side. Patterson is going to be brought down. No, stays on his feet, and now is driven down on the 20-yard line. What a great run by Jamal Patterson.
Well, number 5 was Marion Ashley, who really faked you out because you thought he was going to take Patterson out of the play. And I don't know how Patterson got out of it, and Nakia Woods finally had to knock him out of bounds on the 15-yard line.
Well, Ashley got him by the shoulder pads, and it appeared he was ready to rip him down about the 20, and Patterson was able to keep his feet. 49-yard run, 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. That's their 4th first down. On the 15, give to Khalil Covington off the right side, drives for about 5.
Juan Flowers on the bottom of that pile, along with a couple more of the Pioneers. Red Devils are just opening the hole. You know, on that last run by Patterson, it was so much daylight, and then he just turned somebody around off a block by Brad Wheeler, and ball being spotted right on the 10-yard line. Another gain of 5.
They want to set the chains. We had the line of scrimmage at the 15. The chains were set incorrectly. That's why we have a momentary time. Now they put the first down marker at the 15, and the line of scrimmage after the Covington run will be just shy of the 10. Let's call it the 11, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, they had...
This is a good crew by John Erdman, right on the ball, and noticed that the stakes were incorrectly set on the far side, and took care of it. Covington, the up man. Patterson, the tailback. Deak is in a slot to the left. Wheeler wide to the left, and P.J. Mayo pitches. Covington face going wide, cuts off the right side. Little shoulder fake that he's going wide to the right side, and then slashing off right tackle. Key Owens coming up to make the stop. The Red Devils inside the 10 to the 9. Bring up a 3rd and 4.
That was a heck of a play by Owens also, Jerry. He pinched in from the middle linebacker position, it looked like, and came straight across, because if he doesn't make that tackle, the Red Devils have at least a first down and possibly a score.
Zambrano replaces Covington in the backfield, and a play from head coach Vinny Barano. So Zambrano is the fullback off the I formation. Deak in motion to the right. Give to Covington. Bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. Stays on his feet. Drives forward. Appears to have enough for the first down. As he, again, picked on that left defensive side of the Poughkeepsie Pioneers. And it will be a 1st and goal for the Red Devils.
He took Frank Montgomery about 3 or 4 yards with him. Enough, like you mentioned, to pick up the first down. I just can't emphasize enough the beef that the Red Devils have on their right offensive side between Lee Swan and Bubba Skaggs. Just a lot of power out there.
Well, they don't release any figures for the Red Devils as far as weight is concerned. 1st and goal. Mayo gives off, and slashing through, and into the end zone goes Jamal Patterson for the touchdown. Patterson off the left side from 4 yards out. The Devils are up 20-0.
Patterson with his second touchdown run of the afternoon. Another one from this one from 4 yards out. The last one was from 3 yards out. Red Devils have finally taken control of the Pioneer defense, and with 7:12 to go so far here in the first half, they're up 20-0.
Paul Ercolino keeping on official stats and tells us that Patterson has now gone over 100 yards, helped, of course, by his
49-yarder,
49-yarder to set up this touchdown. See, the Red Devils go for 2.
You mentioned about the Red Devils not releasing the weights. I did find out about Bubba Skaggs, though. He's up over 270.
Mookie Wilson ride to the right. P.J. Mayo going to throw across the center, complete, and that's Brad Wheeler in a 2-point conversion.
Well, last 2 times on that conversion, Wheeler went to the corner. This time he just slid off his block, went right up the middle. Nobody picked him up. I think everybody might have been looking for Peter Deak, and there was Brad Wheeler all alone. Red Devils up 22-0.
7:12 left to go in the first half over WLNA Peekskill and Community Channel 6, and so far it's been just a fun day for the Red Devils, and especially Jamel Patterson. Red Devils taking advantage of mistakes and running up this 22-0 lead. I don't think Andy can hear you, Coach. Why don't you write him a note?
Cheering section is back at it again.
Khalil Covington will do the kicking. We'll have Richard Frazier and Nakia Wood as the 2 deep men. Pioneers played a little differently than most teams. They dropped back 2 other players standing on the 20 and then 2 other players on the 30. So they really, if you wanted to try an onside kick, you float one over the interior lineman.
Yeah, you kind of pooch one up over the chip shot.
There's a lot of room there. I don't think the Red Devils have tried. Covington, high and deep. This is Frazier going to let it bounce, and he will pick it up on his 10. With no place to go. Breaks out of a pile for a moment, and down he goes. Led by Chappie Menzer, who was on top, and a bunch of other Red Devil defenders there, too. And the Pioneers will not have good position to try and start this drive.
Chappie Menzer covering very well. The Red Devils, Brian Call went down. First of all, the mistake by Frazier in letting that ball bounce. I don't know if he was hoping it would go out of bounds, but it was a free ball. By that time, Brian Call got down there, and he just nobody could get to the outside. He just blocked everything off there, and Frazier had no place to go but up the middle. That's where Menzer got him.
Kariga Wood, the slot man to the right side, inside to Keith Williams. McReynolds and Poughkeepsie down 22-0, starting on their own 19. Off the split backfield, McReynolds rolls to his left, and he runs into a Peekskill defender, and down he goes. Frank Lorino making the stop. Will Fullenwider was also there.
I don't know, it seemed to you like that was a broken play. He went to hand off to somebody, and there wasn't anybody there.
Now the loss back to the 15. Pioneers trailing 22-0. And the handoff, and not much there. Paul Ercolino pointed out, and I missed it, and Joe St. Ledger has come in at quarterback for Poughkeepsie. I don't know whether anything happened to Wade McReynolds as far as an injury is concerned. Of course, he plays both ways. That carry across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Pick up a 3rd and 13. Definite passing down for the Pioneers.
We see McReynolds on the sideline near the 50-yard line, separated from his teammates. Just looks like he's trying to gather his thoughts. Joe St. Ledger. His 3rd play from scrimmage, directing the attack and back to pass. Looking with some time and throws deep. It will come up short. Covering on the play was Brad Wheeler. The intended receiver was Richard Frazier at the 45-yard line. Here comes McReynolds, who will be back in on the kicking team.
Well, as we saw it, it seemed that Brad Wheeler was beaten on the play, but he wasn't. He saw that the ball was going to be short. He was coming back for an interception. That's what made it look like Frazier was a couple of yards behind him. Brad Wheeler had him covered well, and he picked up that ball right away, saw it was going to be short, and came back and tried for the interception.
LeBaire to punt. Khalil Covington, who hasn't had a chance to run one back. Flag is down. Here's the kick, and it's not a good one. Coming off to the side, and it is grabbed by Clarence Smith. Smith down the sidelines is bumped and dropped on the Poughkeepsie 41-yard line. Nice return by Smith. He didn't have any blocking in front of him because he was the up man on the poor kick by LeBaire, but let's see what the penalty is about.
The Red Devils might have jumped. No, they're talking to...
illegal procedure against the Pioneers, and I'm sure Peekskill will take the ball where they have it because Bob Smalt is signaling frantically and yelling at the top of his lungs that they should refuse the penalty.
And they did. Red Devils will take over then where the ball was placed down at the 30-yard line. So it was only a 14-yard net that time for...
That's not much of a net on the kicking game, is it?
No.
Line of scrimmage is the 16, and the Red Devils with the return get it back to the 30. Nice little run back by Clarence Smith. Devils up 22-0. Second quarter action over WLNA Peekskill and Community Channel 6. Wilson wide to the right. There's 5:10 left in the half. P.J. Mayle puts Deak in motion to the right. Long count. Give to Patterson. Sidesteps one. Slashes off tackle. Patterson is in the open. Patterson to the 10. Patterson in the end zone for a touchdown.
He outran. He just blew off Quam Flowers that time, who had him. Quam Flowers just could not get a hold of Jamel Patterson, who goes in for his third touchdown of the afternoon. I tell you, if this keeps up, you're going to see young Brian Panzanero in their quarterback very shortly, because Vinny Barana said that once they've got the lead, he wants to get his second stringers in there to get some action.
28-0 for the Red Devils with 4:55 left. Patterson ran 49 yards to set up a touchdown, went in from 4 yards out. Had a 3-yard touchdown run, and this from 30 yards out, and just accelerated once he got past the line of scrimmage, and there wasn't a chance for a Poughkeepsie defender to bring him down.
Yeah, that defender was Wade McReynolds, and he made a dive, and he dove after Patterson was 10 yards past him.
2-point conversion coming up for the Red Devils. Wilson wide to the right. Mayle looks across the center. There it is, and it is caught by Peter Deak.
But if you looked over at the right corner, Mookie Wilson was standing there all alone. Nobody picked him up whatsoever, but Peter Deak was the only receiver that P.J. Mayle was looking at. And boy, I tell you, he put a nice touch on the ball because Deak was covered, and he got it into Deak quickly. And Mookie Wilson, I was watching him over in the corner, just stood there and said, how could you forget about me like this? Nevertheless, the Devils have now upped their lead to 30-0 with 4:55 left here in the first half.
That's not what Mookie said.
Well,
I was reading his lips. He said,
how can your eyesight be that good if you can't line up a 4-inch putt?
I'll tell you during our first time out and what Mookie had to say. Devils are having fun here this afternoon, 30-0. It's not a pleasant afternoon for Poughkeepsie. They just have one victory, that off Panis a week ago, and have been unable to build on it. They have Frazier back deep, along with Nakia Wood. Covington's kick, and this will be Wood on his 15 to the 20, 25, straight up to the 31. Nice run back by Wood. Knocked down by Tony Viola, who got him by the ankle first and tripped him up. Wood was able to dive forward and get some extra yardage.
About 8 yards in that play because Viola and Chappie Manzer, again, Chappie Manzer is getting to be like the Renee Thompson of the Peekskill High School special teams, but they both got him on about the 25-yard line, and Wood flew up to the 32.
First and 10 from that time, and from that spot, McReynolds is back, looking sideline, throws incomplete as Chappie Manzer and the intended receiver came together, Richard Frazier, and a flag is down. That really was Frazier running into Manzer. He made a cut coming across from the left in toward the center. Peter was going to be a sideline pass, but Frazier went post and bumped into Manzer. Chappie was just kind of holding his ground and looking up, and boom, there was the contact. So the interference call against the Red Devils.
Yeah, that was umpire Mike Davey threw that. He threw a little late, maybe just reaching into his pocket to get it, but nevertheless, it'll be a 15-yard penalty for Poughkeepsie against the Red Devils, and that'll bring the ball to the 46-yard line, 47-yard line, I'm sorry.
When you get a chance, Frank, check your running notes and see if that's as far upfield as Poughkeepsie has gone this half. I don't believe they've been in Peekskill territory.
They haven't, no.
McReynolds, and the ball is fumbled and picked up by the running back. Now now fumbled again. That was Marion Ashley with the ball. And the ball kicked forward and was recovered in Red Devil territory by the Pioneers. Quam Flowers alertly jumping on the ball for Poughkeepsie. On the Red Devils, 47.
It's a gain of 6, but you know that when the Pioneers picked up that penalty, the 15-yarder against the Red Devils, that was their initial first down of the game, and right at the 4-minute warning also.
Peekskill leading by a score of 30-0 here in the first half over WLNA Peekskill, Community Channel 6 on tape delay Monday and Thursday nights.
Boy, is this Sean Murphy on the ball. Tell you, as soon as head linesman Jim Park and the field judge Sam DiGiovanni both called the timeout, Murphy was right there at 4 minutes.
Coming up the left sideline, Deak to midfield, Deak to the 40-yard line of Poughkeepsie with the interception. A flag goes down, the Red Devils will have the ball.
Could be a clip called against the Red Devils at that point, but good interception by Peter Deak. Again, reacting very quickly to the pass. McReynolds rolling right, had his receiver downfield, underthrew him, and that's when Peter Deak just stepped in and picked that ball off, ran it back to the 40, looks like the 39-yard line, but the penalty, the 15-yard penalty will be assessed against the Red Devils, and will probably bring it back to the other side of midfield on the 45-yard line if it's a clip.
Well, the penalty being stepped off now against the Red Devils, but they'll have possession.
It's illegal block in the back. Oh, 15.
And it will be... Well, let's wait till they put the ball down, Frank. Always trying to do your math so fast. 1st and 10 for the 45. That you had right.
Right.
Of course. The Devils up 30-0. Let's see if they try to add to their lead with 3:31 left by going to the air. Wilson wide to the right. Wheeler split off to the left. The give off to Covington, and he dives forward for close to 5. Quam Flowers in on the stop for the Pioneers.
You know,
right at midfield to bring up a 2nd and 5.
Oddly enough, the Red Devil defense is getting a lot of work here this afternoon, and they're up 30-0. But that's only because when the offense has had the ball, they make they make the scores in no time at all. They're just going in there, hitting, bang, 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 couple and out, and the defense comes back on the field again.
Patterson gets a rest. Courtney, check that, Zambrano in the lineup, and he has the ball coming around the left side with good blocking and a diving effort at the end to get down close to the 40. Jared Briault making the stop along with Marion Ashley for Poughkeepsie. But it is a Red Devil first down as Zambrano getting a chance to carry as Patterson got a rest. 1st and 10 for Peekskill on the Pioneers 40.
That's the 6th first down by the Red Devils here this afternoon.
Wilson wide to the right. They have a new man slotted off to the right, too. Zambrano goes in motion. Mail wants to pass. Looking across the center, too low. Wheeler, the intended receiver, at the 30. Mookie Wilson was far downfield. And the slot man was Tony Viola on that last play. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Devils on Poughkeepsie's 40-yard line.
P.J. Mail rolling, and he had Wheeler wide open in the middle. I don't know if P.J. just couldn't see through the defensive line that was coming in on him. Pass was underthrown. Wheeler, though, did have enough downfield to pick up some good yardage.
2:24 left in the half. The Red Devils would like to run off one more touchdown, then kind of sit on it as Zambrano goes wide to the right. He's going to take the flip pass to the right side, beats the tackler, stays on his feet, and dives to the 30-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. Marion Ashley was over there covering Zambrano as he went to the right and took the flat pass from P.J. Mail. Lost the tackle, and Wade McReynolds had to come up and make the stop, forcing Zambrano out of bounds on
it's like the 31.
Poughkeepsie 31. And bring up a 3rd and 1.
3rd and a very short one. I would look for a possible very safe play up the middle, although the way PJ likes to throw the ball, you never know.
Red Devils have 2 timeouts left if they want to use them. Wilson wide to the right. Here comes the pitch, and coming around the left side, this time it's Zambrano, outrunning a couple of defenders on his feet, dives over a tackler and is down, but enough for the first down. Another fine run by senior James Zambrano.
Boy, it looked like Zambrano was going to run out of gas and kind of fall down that time, but he just got 2nd and 3rd wind and turned it up and picked up good yardage down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 16 yards, another first down for the Devils. It's number 7.
Timeout on the field. Let's take 60 seconds of this word. Late in this first half, the Red Devils lead Poughkeepsie by a score of 30-0. The Red Devils following Zambrano's fine run of 16 yards. 1st and 10 on the Poughkeepsie 15-yard line with a 30-0 lead. 1:52 left in the half. Red Devils have one more timeout to play with. Wilson wide to the right. Patterson, the deep man, and he goes in motion. P.J. Mail back to pass. Covington stays in to block. For Wheeler in the corner. Touchdown, Red Devils!
Boy, did that make it look easy. Wheeler turned around Jared Briault, and I mean turned him around. Briault was just lost on the play. P.J. Mail with a nice little soft toss over Briault. Wheeler looking right at P.J., had it all the way into the, right on the numbers, as a matter of fact. Red Devils up now 36-0. Ooh. You know, this is impressive offense here, isn't it? Very impressive defense also.
The Red Devils of Poughkeepsie.
Pretty impressive team, let's put it that way.
Nothing the Red Devils can do in the first half can go wrong. They'll go for two again.
Cheering sections
off
downstairs
the split backfield. See, Mail goes to Wheeler on the left side or to Wilson. Now he's got a pitch at Zambrano. Wants to turn the right side. Cannot do it.
Good play by the linebacker, number 44, Nakia Woods. Zambrano had number 77, Bubba Skaggs, out in front of him, and I tell you, Nakia Woods just came by Bubba Skaggs. He couldn't put the block on it. It was a heads-up play by Wood, and Zambrano just could not go out, could not turn the corner, and he had to go out of bounds.
So the Red Devils lead it 36-0 in the first half, having things all their way.
You know, usually when I do these, you know, I try to get a first half on one sheet and a second half on the other sheet. I'm running out of space here when I'm not through the first half. I have to write smaller, I guess.
Red Devils have used a lot of plays. As a matter of fact, if you could review your notes to look at the running plays that Poughkeepsie has had, and there haven't been many. As we get set for the kickoff, and Covington will boot it away. The Pioneers will drop back Richard Frazier, along with with Kariga Wood.
I have them running about 15 plays from scrimmage so far.
What is about? Is it 15 or is it?
Well, if one of them is a penalty, you can't call that a play from scrimmage.
So it's 15.
15 plays from scrimmage.
That's not about 15, it's 15.
Oh, picky.
Covington's boots. High, and this will be taken on the 18-yard line. Running it back is Franklin Nesbitt, and he's up to the 30 before he is dropped by Bubba Skaggs and others on the return team for the Red Devils. And a little in-your-face action going on before that is broken up. Will Fulham-Water telling his teammates, come on, let's go to the sideline.
The flag is down also.
Let's see who has this stepped across. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Poughkeepsie.
That'll bring it back 15 yards to the 15-yard line. Oh, it'll be, okay, it's dead ball foul after the play, so it will be 1st and 25 from the 15. First and, 25 from the 15.
1:41 left in the half, with Peekskill enjoying a 36-0 lead.
Well, Red Devils have got to think pass all the way here. You know,
Poughkeepsie's
got to get on.
You astound me, Frank.
You know, the thing is, if you get one picked off, you got the team, leading you by 36 points, coming back again.
Joe St. Ledger will be in at quarterback. And he's going to run it to his fullback, and driving straight through is Mike LeBaire for, at best, a yard. 2nd and 24 from the 16, and that's when the quarterback looks at the bench and says, Coach, give me a play.
Help.
And one is forthcoming from the bench as the shuttle system is being used. Chris Key checking in for the Pioneers.
You know, the Red Devils have one timeout left, and I hope they don't use it to try to get the ball back and go in for another score with 52 seconds left. 36-0, I think, is a little safe at this point.
St. Ledger looking over the defense, working off a split backfield, wants to throw. A little short one is bounced around, almost picked off. Chappie Manzer got his hands on the pass first. Coming over was Peter Deak as the ball was in the air. Tried for the interception and couldn't quite make it. So it'll bring a 3rd and 24 on the incompleted pass for Poughkeepsie.
That's exactly what we're talking about. You get one of those picked off deep in your own territory, but even if the Red Devils do get the ball in good position here, knowing Vinny Morano, he's not going to go for a quick score. He'll lay one up the middle maybe on a run, but just let the running back get it if you go in if you can. 41
seconds left in the half. St. Ledger looks over the defense. Wide receiver to the right and a slot man there. He's looking across the center. It's looked like it took a bounce, waved incomplete. The intended receiver was Carriga Wood. The pass was low. Covering on the play for the Red Devils was Mookie Wilson. And Wilson appeared to have turned an ankle. We have a timeout. Let's take 60 seconds to this word. Just seconds left in the half. Peekskill leading over Poughkeepsie 36-0. Mike LeBear to kick from his 10. A squibber that takes a bounce at midfield. And it's grabbed by Peter Deak. Tries the left side and is dropped on a fine tackle on the return team. That was Keith Williams making the tackle in Poughkeepsie territory. And that is the end of the half. So the Red Devils enjoying a fine offensive outburst and a commanding 36-0 lead over the Pioneers of Poughkeepsie. Red Devils took the opening kickoff. They were unable to go any place and had to punt. Poughkeepsie also having trouble moving the ball, and they had to punt. Red Devils got the ball back, and they had to punt. And then things started to heat up offensively with the Red Devils.
Boy, heat up offensively.
And we'll tell you all about that to recap the first half right after this word. At halftime from Depew Park in Peekskill, the Red Devils 36, Poughkeepsie nothing. Trailing 36-0. 1st and 10 on their own 37.
Right now, Poughkeepsie's got to start the game like it's 0-0. They just got to get back down to basics, run their offense, and forget about the scoreboard right now.
And it will be Wade McReynolds who shared the quarterback spot in the first half with Joe St. Ledger. McReynolds will start at quarterback. Frazier, one of the running backs. Wide to the right is Keith Williams. McReynolds on a long count. Going to hand off and being hit as he dove straight ahead. Mike LeBear. Hit and brought down. And the carry up to just the 38. A 1-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Right there was one of the first times of the game there was a clean exchange between the handoff. There've been a lot of fumbles. They've left a lot of balls on the ground right now. And like I said, just got to get back to basics.
Pioneers, as Paul indicated, all sorts of problems. The quarterback bumping into running backs and loose balls, and it led to one touchdown. McReynolds looking to throw. Little flare out to the left side. Hit at the 35 after making the reception was Mike LeBear. James Zambrano hit him first, got some help from his teammates, and a loss back to the 31. So the little flare pass to the left loses yardage for, well, they respot the ball, take it over the 35 to the 36, so it'll be a 1-yard pickup to bring up a 3rd and 8.
James Zambrano appears to be a little guy out there on the field, but he's a big guy on the field. The way he comes from his middle linebacker position there and just stuffed that short little dump-off pass.
Frank Montgomery wide to the left. Slot in the right side is Karen Wood. McReynolds on 3rd down. Rolling back and looking. He's got a screen set up. Throws to the left side. Incomplete. Intended for Franklin Nesbitt. And he just overthrew and led Nesbitt too far, and the ball fell incomplete. Khalil Covington covering on the play.
McReynolds really looks frustrated out there right now, Jerry. He's been getting the ball on some of the receivers. Sometimes he hasn't. I look back at right in the first series of the plays where he had the guy wide open and it bounced off his shoulder pads. Might have been a touchdown right there. It could have been a different story in his mind, his psyche.
Devils will drop back Khalil Covington in single safety. Here's Peter Deak up in front. Covington on the 30. And it'll be Mike LeBear to do the punting. High snap from center. He pulls it in. Not a big rush and a high kick. And this will be the Red Devils watching it bounce. Grabbed by Wheeler on the first bounce. Wheeler comes up the left sideline to the 40, to the 45, steps inside a tackler to midfield and into Poughkeepsie territory. So there was Covington back with Deak, and Wheeler dropped back. The punt was short, took a bounce. Looked like the Red Devils are going to let it just die there. Wheeler grabbed it and made a nice return.
When you're up 36 points, you could take a gamble like that. I don't know if it was a close, tight game if they would have played that ball, but he picked it up and made a healthy gain on that, gaining almost 20 yards on the play.
1st and 10 for the Red Devils in Poughkeepsie territory on the 42, leading 36-0, and it will be Brian Panzanero in at quarterback. Wilson wide to the right, and you can expect a lot of the running motion as they went forward. The give to Patterson. He drives inside the 35 to the 34. One of the Beacon players shaken up and in a sportsmanlike gesture. Bubba Skaggs went over and said, look, stay down for a while. That was the key Owens. Owens came up right away, but he is being replaced in the lineup by Chris Judice. For Patterson, the gain down to the 34. He's 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard pickup. Again, Wilson to the right. Viola, wingman to the right. Brian Panzanero off to Patterson, straight ahead. This Covington, rather. Covington spins, twists, turns, and finally is ridden down inside the 20. If Covington had beaten that last man, he was gone, but a nice twisting power run by Khalil Covington.
Neither one of these Peekskill running backs are getting hit anywhere near the line of scrimmage. Nobody's making contact for Poughkeepsie until about 8 yards down the field on all these runs, and that's due to the great offensive line work of Bubba Skaggs, Anthony DeBruzzo, and the inside guys Richard Swan, Brian Call, and Andy Lee.
8th first down for the Red Devils. 1st and 10 on the 18 after a 16-yard run by Covington. Panzanero off to Zambrano. He gets hit and then drives forward. You're absolutely right what you said, Paul, about the Red Devil running backs getting 3, 4, 5 yards into the secondary before they're being hit. That time, the Pioneers' defense stiffened. Quam Flowers coming up and making the stop at the 15, although it was a 3-yard pickup for Zambrano. Much better defense for the Pioneers.
The offensive line has just been neutralizing the defense all afternoon, and the size is really showing now. They have a couple of really big players on the offensive line.
2nd and 7 on the 15. Courtney Hips is in the backfield, and he takes the pitch. He's going to try the right side. Gets a block, able to turn the corner, stays on his feet, and now is being ridden down inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. Franklin Nesbitt coming over to make the tackle after a nice run by Courtney Hips. The pitch from quarterback Panzanero, and able to make the turn, and another Red Devil first down.
Right now, every running back they're putting out there is gaining positive yardage for Peekskill, and once again, you can't give enough credit to the offensive line.
1st and goal for the Red Devils on the Poughkeepsie 8-yard line. Devils out of the huddle, and they'll use the I formation. Zambrano is the tailback. Lee Covington, the up man or the fullback. He has the ball and drives off the left side and is hit at the 6 and down. Making the stop was Marion Ashley. The 2nd and goal. They put the nose of the ball on the 5. In with the play from head coach Vinny Barano is Courtney Hips. He replaces Covington. So Zambrano and Hips will be in the backfield for the Red Devils.
They'll give a little lift right now if Poughkeepsie could stop Peekskill from scoring. They haven't been able to do it all afternoon.
Split backfield. Wing is Viola. Running around the left side, Zambrano in the end zone for a touchdown, but a flag is down. Let's see if there's a clip against the Red Devils. Zambrano going in from 5 yards out as he skirted along the left side. We got a hold against Peekskill, and that will cost them and nullify the touchdown.
Number 50 on the play looked like he had the block, but he just grabbed a hold of the Poughkeepsie defender to stop him. Anthony DeBruzzo had a hold a little. He just hooked him around the arm right by the goal line. I think he would have gone in without the penalty, but right now it's a break for Poughkeepsie.
As Zambrano would like to have that one back. He had a 4-yard touchdown run against Our Lady of Lourdes last week and had one from 5 yards out. The ball is placed on the 11-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from that spot. Covington and Zambrano, the running backs. Brian Panzanero fakes out to one, gives off to Covington, straight up the middle, makes a cut down near the goal line, in for the touchdown.
Cahill Covington did that on his own. He broke a couple of tackles at around the 5-yard line and went in for the touchdown. Puts the Devils up 42-0.
Khalil Covington from 11 yards out. Red Devils looks like they're going to go for two.
The Red Devils have been going for two basically all afternoon. They've converted on most of them on their little dump pass. Let's see if they run the ball here.
Wheeler goes wide to the left. They go off the I formation. Covington is the up man. Panzanero to Mookie Wilson. He bobbled it. Couldn't hold on to it. It is incomplete. So the 2-point attempt is incomplete. The Red Devils with 7:03 left in the third quarter, leading Poughkeepsie by a score of 42-0.
On that drive, Peekskill did nothing fancy. They just ran the ball straight up the middle. You can't say they called any trick plays or trying to run up the score. They're just running their offense. You can't just go out there and lay down on the ball.
Brad Wheeler set that up with a kick that was not a good one from Poughkeepsie after they had to punt from their own 36, and Wheeler running it back to the 42-yard line, and that set it up. Zambrano a 16-yard run, and then from the first and goal on the 8 following the penalty, Khalil Covington going in from 11 yards out. The Red Devils up 42-0.
Jerry,
the Red Devil fans are enjoying this over WLNA Peekskill and on Community Channel 6 on tape delay.
What does the coach of Poughkeepsie tell his team right now, down 42-0? There's still 19 minutes left in this ball game. What could you be telling these kids?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
You're asking the wrong guy. No, I think you had the key when they took over to start the second half to try to play it as a nothing ball game and just try to work on the offense and work on the basics, on the blocking and pulling out and little things like that. Now Mookie Wilson is going to handle the kickoff duties for the Red Devils. Khalil Covington, his foot must be tired. It's kicking off after all the Red Devil touchdowns and leading 42-0. So Wilson gets off a squibber. It's grabbed by an upman, Nesbitt, at the 25 to the 30, dives forward to the 36. Red Devils special team led by Clarence Smith, along with Moses Papone in on the stop. And one of the Peekskill players is hurt. Let's take 60 seconds for this word. In the third quarter from Depew Park and Peekskill, Red Devils lead Poughkeepsie 42-0. Depew Park in Peekskill, the injured Red Devil player is Tony Viola. He's okay, just appeared that he had got the wind knocked out of him and might have suffered a little ankle injury and is being checked out. And of course, that's a precautionary measure to make sure that Tony's going to be okay, and he comes to the sideline with a slight limp, and he'll be fine. Next week, we'll be going up against the Red Devils will be taking on Rye. Right now with 1st and 10 for the Pioneers, they'll start on their own 37. That'll be a big matchup for the Red Devils as they are well on the way to being 5-1 and 4-0 in league competition. McReynolds rolls to his left and pitches back. Nesbitt wants to try the left side, ducks inside and gets up to the 40. 3-yard pickup, a lot of running from right to left. Khalil Covington on the stop for the Red Devils. The Rye Peekskill game has a lot of traditions. Rye is playing at home today against Portchester. And that will be a good matchup. Next week we'll have it for you over WLNA and, of course, Community Channel 6.
Rye goes into that game with a 3-1 record today, Joe.
2nd and 7 for the Pioneers. Wide receiver to the right and left, slot man to the right. McReynolds off the split backfield, gives off to his running back, Nakia Wood, to the 45, and then down he went, and a big hit put on him by Chappie Manzer.
Peekskill's defense isn't relaxing up 42-0. They're still making the big hits. And right now, 3rd and close to 2 yards right now Poughkeepsie hasn't got a first down on their own today yet. They just had that one on the penalty. This could be the time.
They've only been in the Red Devils territory once this afternoon. Again, slot man to the right, wide receivers left and right. McReynolds needing a little over a yard for the first down, and he has it as slashing ahead is Nakia Wood to midfield, and a first down for the Pioneers.
First down on their own right now. Cross midfield, 2 positives right there. They got to build on this. Just try to move the ball down the field with this kind of an offense.
That's all Poughkeepsie really wants to do. I think that now with the being in Peekskill territory on the 49, a chance to open it up a little. McReynolds is a good passer. He's shown that, and we saw him in the Hendrick Hudson game. He's had his problems today bumping into his men in the backfield as he rolls back to pass. He has the sun in his eyes as they're moving toward the pool end of the field, and here's McReynolds. Pitch back and grabbing it is Wood, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. Mookie Wilson was there to hit him first, and also in the stop was Al Clemente.
Mookie Wilson came out from his outside position there and just laid a big stick on the running back for a loss of about 5 yards.
So Clemente got his cleaning work in on that one. And the loss back to the 46 and bring up a 2nd and 13. Montgomery wide to the right. McReynolds looking left sideline, overthrows the intended receiver. Covering on the play was Courtney Hips as they went for a quick pitch to the left side. Keith Williams, the intended receiver. McReynolds off target, and it will be 3rd and 13 for the Pioneers on their own 40.
McReynolds just hasn't been
45, excuse me.
McReynolds just hasn't been in sync with any of his receivers today. He's either, when he's got the ball there, they've dropped it, and when they're open, he's throwing it over their heads.
Same formation, only this time with the 2 wideouts. The slot is to the left, and McReynolds back to pass. Looking and rolls to the left. Stops and fires. Downfield is going to be picked off by the Red Devils. At the 35, Peter Deak running it up to the 45 and close to midfield. Red Devils with an interception, and they'll take over, leading 42-0 with 3:55 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Peekskill knows that Poughkeepsie's got to throw the ball, and they're just laying back, waiting. That's all they're doing. They're playing center field right now, just waiting for the ball to come down into their arms.
1st and 10 for Peekskill on the Poughkeepsie 49-yard line. Deak with the interception. Coach Vinny Barato elects to stay with Brian Panzanero at quarterback. $42-0 for Peekskill. Scoring on their opening drive here in the second half, and the Red Devils took too much time. Brian Panzanero was talking things over with head coach Vinny Barato. Got into the huddle late, called the play, and they got up the line of scrimmage and not in time.
Really had no chance at all to get that play off. Right now you can see the youngsters on the Peekskill team trying to get in there now. At running back, you have Courtney Hips playing. See if he could do the job as well as Jameel Patterson has.
Devils break the huddle. Panzanero looking over the defense with a 1st and 15. Straight ahead. Looked like Courtney Hips will wait till they unpile. It was. And he picked up 2 to the 48. Here's 2nd and 13.
With this second unit in there, you could expect a little bit of maybe mistakes on between the handoffs and the center up to the quarterback. But right there, Courtney Hips was able to hold on to the ball. There was a little mess up on the exchange.
Chappie Manzer checks in as a running back, replacing Covington. Deak, the wing to the left side, as Brian Panzanero pitches left side, and here comes Hips to midfield, and then is crushed by 2 Poughkeepsie defenders. Trying to help him out with a block on the play was Anthony DeBruzzo. Chris Key making the stop.
Poughkeepsie has
a gain to the 49, 3rd and 12.
Poughkeepsie right now would like to stop to get the ball back so they could again work on their offense. Right there, Chris Key came up from his outside linebacker spot, laid a nice hit on, and right now they just, like I said, we got to keep working on basics.
2:08 left in the 3rd quarter. Devils with a 3rd and 12 on the 49. Panzanero, long count. Wants to throw, rails around, and is going to be dropped for a loss. First, faked the pitch to the left side, then rolled to his right as if he were going to throw, or perhaps a quarterback keeper. I would like to think that was the play that was called, and then ran into traffic with the Key Owens coming up to make the tackle.
There was that mix-up in the backfield that you could expect from the young offense that's out there. Forcing a punt now. I don't remember the last time Peekskill punts. It seemed like a couple of weeks ago right now.
In single safety, Richard Frazier drops back for the Pioneers. Red Devils have to get an extra man in on the kicking team. It's Eric Werner checking in. And Covington will do the kicking. And not a big rush put on, but Covington steps up and gets off a fine kick. Frazier at his 25 to the 30, 32 before he is dragged down as he tried to get up the right sideline. That was James Zambrano making the tackle along with Brian Cole.
Brian Cole, the lineman, got down there in a hurry to make that play. Frazier looked like he had a little bit of room on the outside to break that, but the special teams of Peekskill was ready to make the charge.
1st and 10 for the Pioneers on the 33. They're out of it very early as the Red Devils got their offense moving. Pass from P.J. Mail to Mookie Wilson in the first quarter, good for 44 yards. Got the Devils up 6-0. And it was rolling from then on, leading 36-0 at the half, and now up by a count of 42-0. McReynolds, the Pioneers. Red Devils playing a very loose defense, expecting the pass, and McReynolds rolls, has the receiver up at the 40-yard line. Good grab by Carrigo Wood as he was dragged down, but the completion finally ridden out of bounds to stop the clock.
That's what Poughkeepsie was looking to do earlier in the game, try to get the back out of the backfield. We have a penalty on the play to tack on to this.
So it's a first down after the reception, and then the penalty is going to be added on. So for the second time this afternoon, Poughkeepsie gets into Peekskill territory. Just their 3rd first down. And they will have 1st and 10 on the Red Devils 37.
They huddled up about 30 yards behind with the ball.
The center comes out. That's David Jenkins. Says, hey, wait a minute, where's the football? 20 yards downfield. Wing to the right. Wide receivers to the right side. McReynolds back to pass. A little flip, and it is incomplete. Cutting in to try to make an interception was Mookie Wilson. The intended receiver was Kirk Allen, but the ball thrown a little short and wide, and the incompletion brings up a 2nd and 10.
I think Mookie Wilson saw another touchdown on that one, this time from the defensive end like he did last week, returning an interception for a touchdown.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Let's take 60 seconds for this word. At the end of 3 at Depew Park in Peekskill, the Red Devils with a big lead over Poughkeepsie, 42-0. Paul Ercolino back at Depew Park in Peekskill to start the 4th quarter. Franklin Nesbitt taking the handoff from the 37, rolled 12 yards down to the Poughkeepsie 25, and the 4th first down for the Pioneers. And Nesbitt paid for that run, coming up with a slight injury, and he's going to be replaced.
It was the first down on the ground that they picked up, and the largest gain in the game, I believe.
Now, I would have known that if you hadn't brought that up, Paul. That is an observation on the top level. With a score 42-0. McReynolds rolls to the left on a quarterback keeper, has the option, holds on to the ball, but drops it. Just fell right out of his hand. And let's wait and see. It appears the Red Devils have it. They do. So the problems continue for Poughkeepsie when they had something going, and McReynolds on a nice run around the left side lost the ball.
McReynolds had the ball in position to pitch it at all times, and he should have just tucked it under once he got that far downfield, but instead he left it out there and he just dropped the ball. Nothing's going right for this Poughkeepsie squad today.
1st and 10 for the Red Devils on their 14. 11:30 left in the game. And the Red Devils will run the ball, I suspect, and that will take up time, and the clock will move.
Mercifully for both sides right now.
Paul, we're glad we had you in for a full-time analysis on such a thriller. Panzanero, the quarterback, And the handoff, this goes to Courtney Hibbs. Hit off the left side and has a couple.
We can laugh right now, but in the beginning of this game, there was no score, and it looks like Peekskill just did what they had to do today. They did everything. They haven't done anything wrong. They haven't made any turnovers, I don't believe.
The Red Devils didn't look good in the first two series. Of course, the Pioneers didn't look that great either. It was 3 downs and punt.
Back and forth.
But then the long pass really woke them up. Gary mailed Luther Wilson to get them on the scoreboard. Mookie is in tight now on the right side. Brian Panzanero's going all the way here in the second half. Here's a pitch, and Chappie Menzer tries the right side. He got hit by Richard Frazier and dropped for a loss.
As you were saying, it was a little bit of a sloppy game in the beginning, right off the bat. But then they just took over. The offensive line wore down Poughkeepsie. The running game got going. J.Patterson going over 100 yards right there in the first quarter. And since then, they've been no looking back. They've done everything they can in this game. They passed the ball well and run the ball effectively and played great D.
3rd and 9 for the Red Devils on their own 15, leading 42-0. Brian Panzanero looks over the defense. He pitches to Hips, who wants to try the left side. Gets a little running room up to about the 17 or 18-yard line before he is wrestled down. A flag is also down. Procedure call against the Devils.
We're going to have a little motion cut. Courtney Hips got a little bit of a head start on that run to cause the motion penalty.
Well, you need that extra step when you're trying to get to the outside in a hurry.
You too. Not with this line today. I don't think you need much of a step. I think
since he did not make the first down, the Pioneers wisely refused the penalty and forced the Red Devils into a punting situation. Ball on the 18, be 4th and 6.
James Zambrano did a little groundskeeping there, picked up the flag for the official and tossed it right back to him, so he's doing a little bit of everything today.
Well, here's the second punt for Khalil Covington of Peekskill. Richard Frazier, single safety. Good snap from center. Covington gets off a kick that bounces at the 45, a reverse bounce. Oh, did he have English on that, and will be down on the Peekskill 41. Covering on the play, Brian Call of the Red Devils kicking team. So the Red Devils doing what they wanted to do, really, run some time off the clock, and they would have liked to picked up some first downs, but that was not to be, so the Pioneers take over now, 1st and 10.
That's a good punt for when he's down on the goal line, that little reversed English. Looks like one of your chip shots, right? Is that... Got to get into the golfing lingo.
Frank can do that.
Frank can do that? Okay, you can put that reverse English on.
Of course, he uses illegal golf balls, and that's how he pulls it off. McReynolds at quarterback. Gives to his running back, Franklin Nesbitt, who's back in, and he has nowhere to go. Tried the right side, and there was the wall led by Eric Werner to stop him. And a loss on the play, back to the 43.
With 42 points on the board for the offense, you can't lose back. The defense hasn't allowed any. And that's got to be attributed to that defensive line, which has not allowed anybody to go past them today.
Frazier wide to the left. McReynolds back to pass. Here comes the rush, stops and throws as the receiver. A completion to Keith Williams at the 36. Covington in on the hit along with Clarence Smith.
McReynolds, when he drops back there, he looks like he can throw the ball very well. I'm sure on other afternoons he's had a lot better than these, but today that was one of the better passes he's thrown to bring him close to a first down.
It'll be 3rd and 2. The ball has him spotted on the 33. Couple of shots for this first down effort. McReynolds keeps himself, runs off the left side, same play that he fumbled before. This time he's in the open, down to the 10, and finally ridden out of bounds by Peter Deak. Nice run by quarterback Reynolds, and a flag is thrown out of bounds. We may have unnecessary roughness penalty tacked onto this one. Let's wait and see.
Peter Deak ran him into the ground out of bounds after about, so this will bring it half the distance to the goal line, a little bit closer. Once again, McReynolds had the ball in that one hand. And
he didn't tuck it away again that time.
And there was nobody else around him. He likes holding that ball in the one hand. It's going to come back to haunt him, and it has a couple of times today.
So for Poughkeepsie, their 5th first down. They'll have a 1st and goal on the 5, the unnecessary roughness penalty against Peekskill. Pioneers would just love to get into the end zone. And the Red Devils, of course, on the other hand, would like a shutout. we'll see what develops as McReynolds sets his club on the line of scrimmage on the 5-yard line. Working off the I formation. Gives to his up man, and that's Marion Ashley, and he has a yard, as on top of the play was Eric Werner. And he got some help from his defensive mates to stop Ashley on a 1-yard gain.
There's nothing doing up the middle of that Peekskill line. They're going to have to go outside. Peekskill's defense in the front three has really stopped everything.
7:30 left in the fourth quarter, with Peekskill leading 42-0. And Poughkeepsie tried to get into the end zone. Split backfield this time. McReynolds fumbles the ball, dives for it, and he has it at the 4. Oh, the same old bugaboo that's been bothering him all afternoon.
This time McReynolds just pulled away from the center a little bit too quickly on that play. And it was, like you said, once again, same. It's always, it's like the same old, it's like Murphy's Law today for them. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong.
They place the ball back on the 5-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and goal from that point. Williams goes wide to the left. Pioneers like to get in the end zone, but coming out of the huddle, they look like a team that, well, if we get shut out, we get shut out. If we score, we score. Not a lot of enthusiasm. Of course, they've been down. Here's McReynolds rolling to the right, throws. It is intercepted. Picked off by the Red Devils. And going up the far sideline, up to the 40, with no one going to chase him. It's Mookie Wilson with the interception. Wilson is going to go 95 yards for a Peekskill touchdown.
Well, he got that touchdown on the defensive end. 95 yards. Once again, McReynolds looked like he just threw that one up for grabs on that play, and it came down in Mookie Wilson's hands. That's his second in 2 weeks. I believe I heard his 3rd in the year, his coach is exclaiming.
So Wilson with the interception takes it the entire distance. 95 yards, and you're absolutely right, Paul, that quarterback Wade McReynolds feeling a lot of pressure from the Red Devils and just threw it, and there was Wilson, who returned 162 yards last week. He also had a block punt and an interception last week, so
and a 56-yard touchdown today.
Right, you're kind of telling the Mookie Wilson has.
And he hit the ball through Buckner's legs a couple of years ago, didn't he? Oh no, that's the other Mookie Wilson. Okay.
You planning on doing play-by-play next year? Don't kick the old man while he's down. Red Devils will go for 2, and they have at quarter Brian Panzanero off the I formation. Looking, throwing, incomplete. In a crowd, the pass intended for Peter Deak, and he was well covered by Wade McReynolds. So it stays 48-0.
Wade McReynolds is really set over there on the sidelines. He's being ushered to the sidelines by the officials. I don't think he'll be playing much more this afternoon.
Well, he had a hand on the intended receiver. And a little wrestling match went on after the ball fell incomplete.
Well, he had to be thinking. He still was thinking about the 95-yard interception that he threw, and it had to be weighing on it. He's had a rough afternoon.
It's the understatement of the year to say that McReynolds has not had things going his way today. So the Red Devils will kick off, and I see Covington's back in to boot it. Khalil certainly had an opportunity to practice his kickoffs today with the Devils up 48-0. 6:16 left in the fourth quarter over WLNA Peekskill. Tape delay on Community Channel 6 on a Peekskill runaway. The penalty is being assessed on the kickoff, so Covington can have some fun with this one. He will kick off at the Poughkeepsie 45. And he's probably thinking, Coach told me I haven't had any deep ones this year. I'm going to put this one in the end zone.
And now it's his opportunity.
You don't think you'd dare try an onside kick, do you, Paul?
Up 48-0. If he just kicks the ball on the ground, he might be doing that. But I don't think an onside. I wouldn't dare do an onside kick up 48-0.
Beautiful fall afternoon, and hope you're enjoying it. From Depew Park in Peekskill, the Devils kicking off and leading 48-0. Covington hits it low, and it will be not touched and headed out of bounds, and will belong, if it was touched, it belongs to Poughkeepsie. If it was not touched, they'll re-kick it, or they can take it at the 40.
Right now, I think that last option would be the best for Poughkeepsie, considering the ball was kicked off at the 45-yard line.
So there will be a penalty assessed against the Red Devils of 5 yards. Looked for a moment that Richard Frazier got a hand on it, but he was wise enough to see the angle of the ball that was going to squib out of bounds and pull back.
One of the few bounces that have gone the way of Poughkeepsie this afternoon.
So Covington, who could not get it into the end zone. And I know I'll hear something from Khalil when the game is over. He has a great personality, all-around fine athlete, plays basketball. We're going to get him to work a little harder on his grades. Does well in school, but we want to push a little harder. 6:16 left in Covington's kick. This one is high, and it is deep, and it's grabbed by Frazier on the 10, to the 15, the 20, and is driven down to the 25. Good run back by Frazier of Poughkeepsie. Tackled on the play by Clarence Smith, the special teams.
Is that the person that Frank has deemed as the Renee Thompson of this team? Frank, is it Clarence Smith that he said was the Renee Thompson of the New York Giants? He put that on the head of Clarence Smith, I believe, earlier in the game. He's been down on every one of these kickoffs.
Well, he certainly covered that one very well, and something that Vinny Barano has to be pleased with is special teams, although the Red Devils haven't to do much punting, but they've certainly had a lot of kicking off to do. 1st and 10 on the 26. It'll be Joe St. Ledger at quarterback for the Pioneers. 5:48 left. St. Ledger on the option, tries the left side, cuts inside a tackler, and moves up to about 4 yards, and then is ridden down. Tony Viola on top of the pile. And it will be a pickup to the 30, a 2nd and 6 for the Pioneers. Ryan Peekskill next week on Homecoming Day, and you'll have it all on tape delay in Community Channel 6, and of course live on WLLA Peekskill. We're down to 5:10 left in the game. St. Ledger off the split backfield. Slot to the right with wide receivers. He's back to pass. Looking and throws to the right side. Has a man there. Makes the completion at the 43-yard line. Nice grab by Carrigo Wood. They're going to rule he trapped it.
They're going to rule he trapped it.
It was a trap, yeah.
On that play, I think Mookie Wilson saw another potential interception for a touchdown out there. He froze at his tracks as the ball went over his head. But he's just played a whale of a game on both ends.
3rd and 6 for the Pioneers on their own 30. One thing the incompletion does, Paul, it stops the clock. St. Ledger looking over the defense. Wants to try that roll to the left and is grabbed by the shoulder pad and also by the face mask, and a flag goes down. Good defensive effort by the Red Devils. Charging in was Moses Pabone, but Pabone is going to get caught for a penalty.
He came up around the face mask.
Yeah, got him with the shoulder pads in his hand, then slipped into the face mask, inadvertently by Pabone, but it will be a penalty against the Red Devils for that face mask violation.
And of course, in high school, face masks are 15 yards.
And Poughkeepsie picks up a 1st down and will set up again on their own 43, trailing 48-0.
Even if it's inadvertent on the high school level, it's still tacked on to the 15 yards.
And that's a good rule. St. Ledger at quarterback. Slot to the right, and he's back to pass. Steps up and throws. Has a man there, and is trapped again. The ball over the head of the defensive player, Peter Deak, and the receiver, Nikia Wood, or Kirk Allen, cutting in, looking back into the sunlight. Deak has his hands outstretched now and said, I had it all the way, but I didn't see that fella coming in. And it falls incomplete.
That sun is all afternoon caused a lot of problems for both teams, and a couple of punts earlier going over the heads of Peekskill players. And right there, the sun definitely affecting that play.
Al Clemente checks in defensively for the Red Devils. 2nd and 10 for the Pioneers on their own 43. And we're getting the 4-minute warning. John Erdman goes to both sides, but he could have saved himself a trip. I don't think the coaches just want this 4 minutes to go by as quickly as possible with the Devils in their commanding lead. Ledger back to pass. Looking, throwing sideline, a quick hitch, and they complete to Richard Frazier, but he's hit immediately at the 40-yard line and driven back. Khalil Covington on the stop along with Chappie Menzer.
The pursuit.
And there was one other Red Devil in there. Well, the guy makes up for the face mask violation, Moses Pabone, and the ball placed on the 40.
The pursuit on that screen pass was outstanding by the Peekskill team. Right now, they can't get lackadaisical. It's still a football game with 3 minutes and 26 seconds. They got to go and play here against Ryan next week. You don't want to get any sloppy tendencies when you're up 48-0.
Absolutely true, and it's like in baseball when you have a blowout. It's still 3 strikes. You hit the ball and you try to, and you still have to run. You can't just lie down. You have to be in the game all the time. St. Ledger, a little screen pass, and it's incomplete. Had the screen set up very nicely over to the right side, frankly, Nesbitt, but St. Ledger couldn't get enough on the ball, and it fell to the ground incomplete.
Franklin Nesbitt had plenty of real estate out there to be running at, but the ball just didn't get out there. That seems to be the problem all afternoon today. There's been the coordination between the receivers and the quarterbacks has not been there for Poughkeepsie, and that has to be attributed to the defensive pressure being put on by this Peekskill team.
The Red Devils leading at 48-0. 3:06 left in the game, and the Pioneers not going to kick. They have a 4th and 13 from their own 40, and St. Ledger will put it up. Back to pass. The rush steps up and throws. Looking for Frazier. Off the deflection. Almost had it. Back defending on the play was Courtney Hips. Hips got a hand on it as the ball went in the air. Frazier made an attempt to try to pull it in but couldn't grab the ball, and it falls incomplete.
Frazier tried to go over the top of Courtney Hips on that one. Courtney Hips is there, made the play. And nobody's really, well, with the exception of early in the game, nobody's got behind the Peekskill secondaries this afternoon.
So the Pioneers turn it over on downs, and Peekskill will have a chance to run out the clock with 2:59 left. 1st and 10 on Poughkeepsie's 40-yard line. Viola the wing to the left. Manzer in the backfield along with Hips. Manzer has it, goes straight ahead, dives for about 3, and that's all. Got hit first up top by Nakia Wood. Down at the bottom of the pile is Akey Owens. But Manzer pick up 4 down to the 36. And a 2nd and 6. 2:34 left in this one.
6 Peekskill running backs have handled the ball today, all gaining yardage. The most, of course, by J.Patterson.
Now their stats are going to look good. Pitch to the left side, and running wide is Courtney Hips. Hips breaks out in the open for a minute, then is driven out of bounds on the far side on the 25-yard line. 11-yard pickup for Hips. It'll be good enough for a Peekskill first down. .2:14, the clock is running. This one was out of hand at halftime. The Devils up 36-0, added a couple of scores in the second half. All on their running game, and a 95-yard return of an interception by Mookie Wilson. And the Devils, after that run by Hips, 1st and 10 on the Poughkeepsie 25. Brian Panzanero fakes the pitch and gives off to Hips again, and he's got 5 down to the 20. Marion Ashley making the stop. Ashley's had a good ball game. Actually, had run with the ball a couple of times and has been a force defensively.
He's been one of the few on Poughkeepsie's side that's been stopping the running game for Peekskill. Right now, Peekskill with Courtney Hips backing up J.Patterson. Both are juniors, both coming back next year. They look like they have a solid future ahead of them.
2nd and 5 for the Devils on the Poughkeepsie 20-yard line. 1:41 left off the split backfield. Manzanero pitches back, and Hips is getting cut in the backfield on a broken play at a loss back to the 25. It appeared that he was going to fake the pitch and then go to Manzer on the right side, and Courtney Hips appeared to be confused when he caught the ball.
I think Courtney thought he was faking the pitch too. They said, "What am I doing with the football?"
Is that supposed to go to me?
So that play has been working play after play where they fake the pitch and hand off to the other running back. The misdirection series by this Big Schools team has really been dominating.
3rd and 10 for the Red Devils on the Poughkeepsie 25. Hips is the fullback and Manzer the tailback off the eye, and Manzer gets the pitch and he fumbles it, picks it up on the bounce, turns the right side, bumps off one man and another, and Chappie stays on his feet and breaks the tackle. Now fumbles the ball when he's hit again, and Poughkeepsie has recovered.
A lot happened on that play, Jerry. It's a very hard play to analyze, but the outcome is Poughkeepsie's football with 42 seconds left.
Well, Manzer looked like a repeat of the play before, and this time the pitch did go to Manzer. He fumbled it. The ball took a nice bounce, came right up back into his hands, kept going with his momentum off to the right side, broke a couple of tackles, and then appeared to be going down as he was swarmed by 3 defensive players, broke out of that little problem, and swung to his left, and then got hit and lost the ball. We have a timeout on the field, so let's take 60 seconds for this word. 38 seconds left. Peekskill leading Poughkeepsie 48-0.
On the horizon, a ray of new light, a chance for a future.
Do you think perhaps there is a conspiracy in me getting over to the golf course and playing 9 holes with that timeout by head coach Keith Thompson?
Yeah, that's a very distinct possibility.
I think what Keith wants to do is say, okay, fellas, we're late in the ball game, only it's 6-6. We have a 1st and 10 from our own 33, and this is what I want you to run.
He wants to see his team react.
Yep.
That's what a coach has to do.
Let's see if we can get on the board. But come on, we had the stuffings kicked out of us all afternoon. Here's one chance for you to get back into it and do something very positive. Let's everyone hold their blocks. And Vinny Barano could not hold a block, and he just got dumped by the Gatorade by quarterback P.J. Mail and Peter Deak. And Vinny will take the shower. But and the victory, of course, he's shaking his head and says, come on now.
Ruined a good
You guys
sweater.
want to do that play like Lawrence Taylor. St. Ledger looking, throws a little pass over the center. It's incomplete, so that stops the clock.
I guess with an effort, a 48-0 effort like today, they could dump almost anything on Coach Vin.
That's been a happy afternoon for the Red Devil fans. St. Ledger just throws it up for grabs. This one is going to be picked off and down. The interception by Brian Panzanero at midfield, as St. Ledger just threw it up under a heavy rush, and you can see Panzanero coming over from his safety position, having that all the way, and grabbed off the looping pass, was down immediately. The Red Devils can run one play.
Panzanero wanted to add one more name to the stat sheet today with an interception.
Well, his dad, who's the head basketball coach at Peekskill, very proud of that moment, of course, and his youngster getting a chance to play the entire second half. And they will not get off another play. That will take care of it. The Red Devils have won it by a score of 48-0 and go 5-1. Didn't take Peekskill too long to get on the board bright and early. In the first quarter, after exchange of punts, Red Devils are the 1st and 10 on their own 44, and a 56-yard pass from P.J. Mail to Mookie Wilson made it 6-0. J.Patterson went in from 3 yards out, 12-0. 2-point conversion to Deak, 14-0. Also in the first half, Red Devils struck on a 4-yard run by Patterson, making it 22-0 when Brad Wheeler caught the 2-point conversion. Patterson again from 30 yards out to make it 28-0. Deak again making a reception, 30-0 Red Devils. At the half, it was 36-0 as Brad Wheeler caught a touchdown pass from P.J. Mail from 15 yards out. The Red Devils added to that with 2 touchdowns in the second half. Covington going in from 11 yards out, and then Mookie Wilson intercepting on the 5, returning it 95 yards into the end zone, and this final score 48-0. Difficult to judge this Peekskill team, Paul. Was the opposition, I hesitate to use the word that poor, but certainly on this afternoon they were no matchup for the Red Devils. So are the Red Devils that good with a high-powered offense, or did they run into just a very poor defensive team from Poughkeepsie?
Well, right now, I would have to say that Peekskill is that good, because this isn't the only team they've done this to this year. The competition they've been brought up against, you can't blame them for the competition they go up against. They have to do the job, and they've done it again with a shutout, 48-0. Mookie Wilson with the first touchdown on the offensive end, closes it out with a touchdown on the defensive end.
So Peekskill will have Rye next week. It'll be homecoming day, and we'll be right here to have it for you over WLNI Peekskill and on tape delay and Community Channel 6. The final in this one, the Red Devils win it 48-0. Now wins their 5th of the year, led by P.J. Mail, their quarterback, and Mookie Wilson, who opened the scoring, catching a touchdown pass and closed it with a 95-yard touchdown return on an interception, and J.Patterson, who had another outstanding days. And Khalil, you come on in here too, as long as you're over there. Covington is going to join us. Member of the tandem of the running team of the Red Devils of Patterson and Covington. PJ, the game plan from Coach Vinny Barano, was it set during practice that you worked on? And obviously it worked out very well in the first half.
Well, we plan to go outside on the guys. You know, we came in and thought they were going to play a 6-2, but they didn't play 6-2. They played 5-3 monster, and so we wanted to go outside on them. Then after they stopped our outside, we went inside, and they couldn't stop us really. That's the thing.
It started in the game that they couldn't get anything going. You couldn't really do anything in exchange of punts, and then suddenly you found Mookie Wilson open for a long touchdown pass. What was that play?
Oh, I don't want to say it, but
no, you don't. In case the opposition coaches might be looking, obviously it was a touchdown pass, though.
Yeah, it was a touchdown pass. We never get, for some reason, we can't get off to the right start. We one series we blow it, and then after that we just come right back with scores. I don't know what it is. Just can't.
Was that play sent in from the bench?
That play was sent in from the bench, Mr. Brown. Almost everything sent in, mostly.
Yeah. Paul Ercolino has made a notation that they were playing without a safety, and you caught them really with their pants down on that one.
Yeah, the safety was coming up right by the linebackers, right in the middle, number 5. And I told Coach Sperano that the safety was playing real close, and he said, okay, we'll try Mook.
So they went to the Mookie man, and he made the reception. You've had a lot of fine catches in your high school career, Mookie. I know this one was very satisfying. What kind of pattern did you run on that?
Just a slide pattern, slide.
When you looked around, there wasn't too many people near you, were there?
No, because number 25 had dropped off, so I just kept going.
All right. Tell us about the interception at the end that you returned. We had it 95 yards, but they were first and goal from that point, and we figured you picked it off right around the 5-yard line and the return. Were you looking for them to throw, and were you defending a particular person, or were you in a zone?
Yeah, I had the first man out of the backfield, and I seen him roll out, so I just stepped in front of him and picked it off.
Was there daylight all the way, or did you have some moments where you thought you wouldn't make it?
No, I started losing my wind when I got down towards the 10, but wasn't nobody there, so I slowed down.
Do you sprint at all on the track team, Mookie?
No.
That's a long haul. Usually you do 40-yard sprints, and you're timed in that distance. But to go 95 yards is quite an accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mookie Wilson, one of the stars of the games. Now, maybe Jamal and Khalil could move in this way, if we would, please. PJ, thanks for joining us. And congratulations on another fine running day. You had a bunch of touchdowns again today, and you broke one from 30 yards out. Tell us about that play, Jamal.
Well, it was like a cutback play, and Rich Swan, he came across and hit this man who was about to hit me, and I just cut off it, and it was daylight, and I just ran for the touchdown.
As we observe it from the press box, and obviously it's quite different when you're down on the field, you have to do the dodging, and you're taking the licks, and we're standing up there, and you guys watch it on Monday and Thursday nights and say, they really don't know what it's like being down here on the field. But you do a lot of little stutter stepping, a little shoulder fake, and then cut Do you work on practice? Are there any things you go through for the quick step and the change of direction?
Nah, not really. It's just natural, I guess. Like in practice, we do it's an outside linebacker play where we have to get a quick pitch and come out, have to put a move on them. That helps kind of.
I think one of the things that you have and one of your great attributes, in addition to being able to hold onto the ball when you get hit by the secondary, is not only the change of directions, but the able to get into full speed. And so you see the opening and bang, and then you're gone. Do you work on sprints at all?
Like after practice, we sprint. That's the only kind of sprints we really do.
Or if Coach Vinny Barano says take some laps because he's not pleased with the practice, but you don't sprint those laps. I know how you guys take laps. I know how Khalil takes the laps. Come on over here, number 40. He goes around half, and then he drops out where there's an opening in the fence. Says, I have to do my homework, Coach, and he's gone. Nice ball game. You had some good runs today, and did you feel in the first quarter, after you were able to get on the scoreboard, that you could handle Poughkeepsie for the rest of the game?
Basically, yeah. But, that's what we thought. We thought they was going to be strong. They seemed strong from the start, because we both was messing up kind of. But after the first series, we came out and obtained the lead, and we played strong.
You have Rye next week. There's any been thoughts? There's been talk about let's not look ahead, and the old expression, let's take one game at a time.
Yeah.
They're going to be a tougher ball club.
Yeah, that's going to be. We think we figure that's going to be our hardest game. So we're going to have a hard week of practice. Very, very hard week.
Jamal is saying in the background, if they can defeat them, Rye next week, it'll be perhaps onto a league championship. But then the Somers won last night, and they got a heck of a ball club, and they got they got a tough club. So Rye next week, and then look ahead to Somers on the road.
Yeah, well, we just take one step at a time. Just worry about Rye. The way we see it, the combinations that we have, we figure that nobody can stop us in the county.
Very good. That's the way to have confidence. J.Patterson, Khalil Covington, P.J. Mail, and Mookie Wilson, the stars of the game. Paul and I will be back with a final comment right after this. Here at Depew Park, it'll be homecoming, and we'll have it on Community Channel 6 with the tape delays on Monday and Thursday. The Red Devils, after talking with their players, they're certainly confident, but they have a good offense. They can put points on the board.
They do have the weapons with Covington, Patterson, and Mookie Wilson, along with the quarterback, Mayer. They could definitely do it. They have the potential to win this league, and they don't seem to. They're a little bit. I don't know if they're overconfident. But that's good to have a little bit of overconfidence like that, because that's what you have to do. They think they could beat Somers as well. That's great.
Well, they're on a high right now after this rout here at Depew Park. Devils going up with a 56-yard pass to Mookie Wilson to get on the board first, 6-0. Patterson from 3 yards out. Patterson from 4 yards out. Patterson from 30 yards out. They wrapped up the first half on a P.J. Mail pass to Brad Wheeler for 15 yards on the touchdown and led it by a score of 36-0. And at that point, we knew it was no contest.
It was that first half was just pure domination in every sense of the word, offensively, defensively. Covington played a great game defensively. I didn't mention that when he was talking. We were just talking about his offense, but he played a great game defensively as well, as did Mookie Wilson.
So the 2 touchdowns in the second half wrapped it up. Wilson capping it with the interception and returning it from 95 yards. The Red Devils win this one. Rye next week. We hope you'll join us. For Paul Ercolino and Frank Puglisi, I'm Jerry Desmond. Good night, everyone.